Hey, what's happening, everybody out there in the XRP community? Thank you so much for all your great responses on the video I made. You guys are really awesome, making somebody feel good. I want to keep it going. This is a part two. I want to jump down now into the Comex Rule 589. What is it? How does it work? And I think it'll explain if you're following the clues and that's still fun for you. The 589 plus may come a little more clear to you how I see the plus in that clue. But honestly, I think this is where we're headed anyway. There's enough real news, there's enough real motion going on in the world with legislation and regulation that this is where we are, and we all established that last video. So let's try to get into this and see how quickly and smoothly I can move through it and not mess anybody up or myself. So let's check it out. So there's an article that was done by Zero Hedge where they break this down. You can find this information, that how it all operates and unfolds on the Comex tool. But I'm going to go through this because it's all pretty much verbatim. So the Comex Rule 589 became effective in December 21st, 2014, which seeks a 5-minute trading halt when price movements in lead month primary futures contracts result in triggering events, as a measure that is consistent with promoting price discovery and cash futures price convergence, in order to deter sharp movements that may, for example, be driven by illiquid central limit order books prevailing from time to time in otherwise liquid markets. Now, I don't know if you've seen Susie from Esoteric Trading video, but she proposes a scenario that sounds a lot like this. Now, whether it goes that high or not, let's save that because that's another conversation too. But nevertheless, that's how this opens up. Let's dig a little deeper. Let's look a little further into this because this gets interesting. Because remember, this is important because this is where we're going to live. This is going to be the home for all the currencies. We are commodities, and this is our home. So we just will figure out what this is about and really understand what's coming. So we got the 5-minute trading halt, and they're talking about illiquid markets that are usually liquid, which could be, sounds like XRP, and the demand for it once it goes public, really goes public live. I mean, just really goes live here. Let me go down a little further. I want to keep this moving because I know it's a lot of information. Okay, so the process. Let's look at the process, see if I can find it. So if the lead month primary contract is bid or offered in an upper or lower first special price fluctuation limit, the exchanges will consider such an occurrence a triggering event that will begin the 5-minute monitoring period in the lead month contract. If at the end of this 5-minute period the lead month primary future contract is not bid or offered at the applicable limit, the exchanges will expand the limits an additional price limit increment above and below the lead month's contract previous day settlement price. However, at the end of the 5-minute interval, the exchanges determine that the lead month primary future contract is bid or offered at the applicable limit. They will commence a 2-minute temporary trading halt in all contract months of primary futures contracts, as well as in all contract months associated products. Primary contracts and associated products are identified in Appendixes A and C. Now, that's another topic too, because now you're dealing with it's for gold, oil, silver. They're talking about it here. So, what the question I get out of this is, one, that's the process, and boy, does that sound like something, doesn't it? But one of the things that are takeaways for me here is that they're talking about futures contracts and options. So will there be futures offered on XRP the way there is futures offered already on Bitcoin? I've looked enough to know that virtually all commodities have futures contracts to go with them. Now, I'm not saying that will. I'm saying we don't know yet, and I want to know. And if anybody does know, we definitely want to hear from you. But This goes into the Comex Rule 589, tells you what the process is like, what could trigger that event for that to happen. Certainly sounds plausible for a lot of the theories that are floating around here, that out of the 40 billion circulating coins, a lot of people believe there's only 2 to 4 billion or some smaller number that's actually really available. And once the actual back program and Nasdaq's crypto and Fidelity and everybody else's mainstream and the mass public gets buying in, and the big institutional buyers, that it's going to draw up that small circulation, and then we may find ourselves finding out that this rule is getting ready to go down on XRP. But again, also, this is for all commodities, so we got to pull back a little bit and remember also that if something larger in the economy were to be taking place, some kind of a, something bigger with hyperinflation, even just to adjust for the dollar, is going to affect the commodities market directly right out of the gate. So if that should happen, that could happen for oil, gold, and silver, and by default could affect us with XRP, which we've talked about before. Anyway, this is just going down into it. We know what the rule is now. We know how it could affect us and what a triggering event could be. So we've yet to see, and the bull run should be pretty close to come. So I'm curious if the bull run causes like an event like this to happen, and then we find ourselves stuck in this grind it out kind of thing. And will XRP have futures? This is getting exciting. I mean, it really is. So again, I want to thank everybody for enjoying the first video and subbing and doing all that stuff. I mean, just, keep leaving great comments or questions. I mean, I love talking to everybody. This is a great topic. Like I said, this is where we're going to be. So the more we can be forward looking and seeing where we're going and how this is all going to roll out, I think the more we can see this sitting in a market the way we see gold, silver, and oil sitting in a market, I think we're all really going to start to have a better handle on what's to come. But one thing's for sure, nothing's bigger than XRP right now. This is amazing what's happening. So thank you guys for watching, and I'm going to do another video after this one where I want to go down a little further into the difference between regulations and legislation, global legislation, and some of the things that I've seen too. Like Dilip Raul had a 59-second video, and it was pretty fantastic the way he broke down in a very, very short period of time about how the retail market for XRP was created just to get an ecosystem going with it and just to actually have a market moving. And the real use of it is, I believe he said something close to like and I could have it wrong. I don't want to try to say it, but a complex institutional global buying, payments, remittance, settlement, or what have you. And I'm screwing up what he said. But anyway, it was very important that you get out of that ultimately that coin is designed to run everything. It's going to be run on everything. I truly believe that. So anyway, thank you guys for tuning in. And I'll have another video coming out soon about the CFTC and some of the stuff there I think we should drill down on further. But you guys have been amazing. Thank you so much for everything and all your support. I'll talk to you soon. All right, bye.